Hello, everyone, and welcome to another episode of Learn English with Podcast Conversation. I'm Jennifer, and today we'll discuss how to build confidence in public speaking in English, a skill that's essential for presentations, meetings, and daily communication.
Hi, everyone. I'm Thomas, and I couldn't agree more. Public speaking in English can be challenging, especially if it's not your first language, but don't worry. We're here to share some practical tips and strategies to help you become a confident and effective speaker.
Let's start with the most important step, preparation. Before any speech, it's crucial to prepare well. Understand your topic, organize your points, and rehearse. The more prepared you are, the more confident you'll feel when speaking in front of others.
Absolutely. Preparation is key. Another tip is to focus on your audience. Remember, they want to hear what you have to say. Concentrate on delivering value rather than worrying about making mistakes. This mindset shift can make a big difference.
Body language also plays a vital role. Stand tall, make eye contact, and use gestures to emphasize your points. Confident body language not only impacts how others perceive you but also boosts your self-assurance while speaking.
Great point, Jennifer. I'd add that practicing mindfulness can help reduce anxiety. Take deep breaths, focus on the present, and try to remain calm. A relaxed mind helps you articulate your thoughts more clearly and confidently.
Engaging with your audience is another effective strategy. Ask questions, share relatable stories, or use humor. Interaction makes your speech dynamic and helps you connect better, reducing any nervousness you might feel.
Lastly, practice is everything. Speak in front of a mirror, record yourself, or join public speaking clubs like Toastmasters. The more you practice, the more natural and confident you'll become in delivering speeches in English.
That's a great roundup of tips, Thomas. In our next segment, we'll dive deeper into specific techniques for handling stage fright and managing your nerves during public speaking. Stay with us for some actionable advice.
Yes, don't go anywhere. We're just getting started on this journey to mastering public speaking in English. Let's unlock your confidence together. See you in the next segment.
When it comes to public speaking, stage fright is one of the most common challenges people face. The key to overcoming this is recognizing that nervousness is natural. Channeling that energy into enthusiasm can make your speech more engaging. Remember, the audience is there to support you, not judge you.
That's a great point, Jennifer. I like to remind myself that even the best speakers feel nervous. It's how you manage it that counts. One method I use is visualization. Before speaking, I imagine myself delivering a confident, successful presentation. It sets a positive tone in my mind.
Another great technique is using a strong opening. Start with a question, a surprising fact, or a short story. A powerful beginning grabs attention and sets the stage for the rest of your speech. Plus, starting strong helps you feel more in control of the moment.
Absolutely, and while speaking, it's okay to pause when needed. Many people feel they must fill every second with words, but pauses allow you to breathe and collect your thoughts. They also give your audience time to absorb what you're saying, adding more impact.
Engaging with your audience during your speech is another excellent strategy. Ask for a show of hands, encourage small discussions, or invite questions. Interaction not only makes your presentation lively but also eases tension by shifting some focus away from you.
Yes, engaging the audience creates a sense of collaboration. I also suggest using personal stories or anecdotes. When you share real-life experiences, it humanizes you and makes your speech relatable. It's one of the easiest ways to captivate your audience.
Let's talk about voice modulation. A monotone delivery can lose your audience quickly, no matter how good your content is. Use varied tones, emphasize key points, and add emotion where it fits. A dynamic voice not only keeps listeners interested, but also conveys your passion.
Adding to that, don't forget the power of a smile. Smiling not only makes you appear friendly and approachable, but also helps you feel calmer. It creates a positive atmosphere and encourages your audience to engage with you more openly.
Rehearsing your speech multiple times is also vital. Practice in front of a mirror, record yourself, or even present to a friend. Watching or listening to yourself helps identify areas for improvement and boosts your confidence as you refine your delivery.
That's so true, Jennifer. Another way to practice is to simulate the environment you'll be speaking in. If possible, visit the venue beforehand. Familiarity with the space can reduce the anxiety of stepping into an unknown setting on the day of your speech.
Let's not forget to mention the importance of clear pronunciation. Speaking slowly and enunciating your words makes your speech more understandable, especially for audiences who may not be fluent in English. Clarity builds confidence on both sides.
Good point. Additionally, using visual aids can make a big difference. Slides, images, or props can enhance your message and provide a visual break for your audience. Visual aids help to reinforce your key points while giving you something tangible to focus on.
When we talk about unexpected challenges during a presentation, the first thing to remember is to stay calm. A technical glitch, forgetting a line, or an unexpected question can feel overwhelming, but taking a deep breath and keeping your composure allows you to handle these moments with grace and professionalism.
Jennifer is right. Staying calm gives you the mental clarity to address the problem. If you forget what to say next, try paraphrasing or summarizing your previous point while you recollect your thoughts. The audience rarely knows you've deviated unless you show panic or self-doubt.
To add, humor can be a lifesaver in these situations. A light-hearted comment about the glitch or your pause can ease the tension and connect you with the audience. Humor makes you relatable, turning an awkward moment into an opportunity to showcase your personality.
That's a great point, Jennifer. Another way to handle challenges is to have backup plans. For instance, if your slides fail, be ready to describe key points verbally. If a question throws you off, it's okay to admit you need a moment to think or say you'll follow up later.
Being adaptable is essential. Sometimes, your audience may steer the discussion in an unplanned direction. Embrace the opportunity to explore their interests while gently bringing the focus back to your main topic. Flexibility shows confidence and a deep understanding of your material.
Absolutely. Preparation also helps reduce the risk of challenges. For instance, double-checking your equipment and rehearsing possible interruptions can make a big difference. However, even with the best preparation, unforeseen issues can happen, so staying mentally prepared is key.
Another thing to remember is nonverbal communication. If something unexpected happens, maintaining open and confident body language helps you stay in control. A steady posture, eye contact, and a calm demeanor communicate confidence even when you're troubleshooting.
Jennifer, that's spot on. Nonverbal cues like a reassuring smile or nod also show that you're approachable and in control. And if you need a moment, pausing while maintaining strong body language allows you to regroup without losing your audience's attention.
Engaging your audience can also work as a distraction while you navigate the challenge. For example, you could ask for their thoughts or opinions. This creates a pause for you to collect yourself while fostering a sense of interaction and inclusivity in the room.
Great advice, Jennifer. Sometimes asking a question or involving the audience in a quick poll can not only buy you time but also reinvigorate their attention. Plus, the interaction builds rapport and shows that you value their input, even during a challenging moment.
Another useful tactic is to acknowledge the issue without overemphasizing it. For example, if your microphone stops working, you can say, "Let's see if we can fix this," and move on without making it the center of attention. Focus on delivering value despite interruptions.
Jennifer, that's so true. Overreacting can magnify small problems, while downplaying them keeps the flow intact. If you don't make a big deal out of a challenge, the audience usually won't either. They're there to hear your message, not to scrutinize every hiccup.
Using pauses effectively during these moments is another game changer. A brief pause after a disruption gives you time to think and reassures the audience that you're composed. It also breaks the monotony of speech, making the presentation feel more natural and thoughtful.
Absolutely, Jennifer, pauses are powerful tools. They can be used to emphasize a point or to regain your focus. And if you make a mistake, don't apologize profusely. A simple acknowledgement followed by moving forward keeps the audience engaged and focused on the content.
It's also worth noting that audience empathy is on your side. Most people understand that challenges happen. When you show resilience, it inspires respect and admiration. People appreciate seeing you handle a situation with professionalism and composure.
That's right. Mistakes or challenges, when handled well, can actually enhance your credibility. They show that you're human and capable of thinking on your feet. It's a reminder that public speaking is about connection, not perfection.
Let's also mention the importance of pacing. If something disrupts your flow, slow down to regain control. Speaking too quickly during stressful moments can make the situation worse. A steady pace helps you think clearly and conveys confidence to your audience.
Pacing is crucial, Jennifer. Rushing through or skipping parts of your speech might seem like a quick fix, but it can confuse your audience. Instead, take your time, regroup, and continue with confidence. The audience appreciates clarity over speed every time.
Ultimately, building confidence in public speaking is about embracing challenges as part of the process. Each hurdle is a chance to grow and improve. The more you face and overcome difficulties, the more resilient and adaptable you become as a speaker.
Absolutely, Jennifer. Remember, challenges don't define your presentation. Your response to them does. With the right mindset, preparation, and techniques, you can turn even the toughest situations into opportunities to shine. In our next segment, we'll explore how to craft memorable closing statements. Stay with us.
When we talk about public speaking, one of the most important aspects to consider is preparing for different types of audiences. For example, presenting to a professional group is different from speaking at a casual event or a classroom. Each audience expects different things, and tailoring your speech to them boosts your confidence. Knowing your audience and their needs is key to delivering a speech that resonates with them.
That's a great point, Jennifer. Adapting your tone, language, and examples to the audience's familiarity with the topic is essential. When presenting to an academic or professional group, for example, using industry-specific jargon may work. But when speaking to a general audience, simplifying terms ensures everyone stays on the same page. The more you adjust to your audience, the more confident you feel about delivering your message effectively.
And let's not forget about managing anxiety before stepping up to speak. A lot of people feel nervous, especially when speaking in a second language like English. One way to tackle this is through visualization. Imagine yourself speaking confidently, the audience listening attentively, and your message being well received. This mental practice can be surprisingly powerful in reducing anxiety and building self-assurance.
Exactly. Jennifer, visualization is one of the most widely used techniques by successful speakers. You can practice imagining yourself on stage, visualizing each step of the speech and how you'd handle any potential problems. The more you rehearse mentally, the less intimidating the real event becomes. It's all about creating a positive mental framework before the big moment arrives.
Building on that, we can also discuss the role of physical preparation. Doing light exercises, practicing deep breathing, and even stretching before a speech can reduce nervousness and relax the body. Physical tension tends to make us feel more anxious, so releasing that tension beforehand is key to helping you stay composed.
Physical preparation plays a big part in your overall mental clarity, too. I've found that stretching helps ease muscle stiffness that often comes with nervousness. Practicing breathing exercises also has a calming effect and helps you focus, ensuring you're not rushing through your words. It gives you time to think and ensures your body language matches your confident mindset.
Another effective way to build confidence in speaking is practicing with others. Whether it's a friend, colleague, or even a group, practicing your speech out loud in front of others makes a huge difference. The feedback you get can highlight areas where you need improvement, and positive feedback can boost your morale. Confidence comes from seeing real progress.
That's absolutely true. We're all constantly improving, and practicing in front of others allows you to experience real-time reactions, which is invaluable. Another tip is to ask for feedback specifically on your body language and eye contact. Sometimes we're unaware of how much we rely on notes or how we present ourselves physically. Getting honest feedback helps us improve those areas that we might not even notice.
You know, Thomas, some of the most impactful public speakers don't have flawless speeches or deliveries. They simply connect with their audience. Being authentic and engaging with your listeners on a personal level builds trust and allows your confidence to shine through. When you speak from the heart, it resonates with people, and that connection makes all the difference.
Jennifer, that's so true. Authenticity builds trust and connection. You don't need to memorize every word or sound perfect. Speak from experience, use examples, and share stories that people can relate to. Even if you make a mistake, your audience will appreciate the human side of you. When you focus on the connection, the speech becomes less about perfection and more about communication. Yes, and another great way to develop that connection is through storytelling. A well-timed, relevant story can captivate your audience and help them remember your key points long after the presentation ends. Stories engage emotions, and when your audience feels emotionally invested, it creates a stronger bond between you and them. I couldn't agree more. Stories make your message relatable and memorable. They allow you to inject humor, pathos, or even tension into your presentation. They're a powerful tool for reinforcing your points while keeping your audience's attention. Even a simple personal anecdote can turn a dry topic into something much more engaging.
When preparing your speech, try to focus on structure. Start with a strong introduction that grabs attention, followed by a clear body with key points that build on each other. Finish with a strong conclusion that leaves a lasting impression. A clear structure helps both you and your audience follow along easily, and when the flow is smooth, you'll naturally feel more confident.
That's a great tip. A well-structured presentation is easy to follow, and it helps the speaker stay organized. I often suggest starting with a hook, something that grabs attention immediately, whether it's a surprising fact, a question, or an anecdote. Structuring your message makes it less overwhelming, as you can always refer back to your outline if you get lost.
Speaking of starting with a hook, let's talk about the importance of making your opening memorable. A great way to engage your audience right away is to begin with something thought-provoking or unusual. Whether it's a surprising statistic or an emotional story, it sets the tone for the rest of the speech. People are more likely to stay engaged if they're intrigued right from the start.
Absolutely. Your opening is your chance to grab the audience's attention and establish your credibility. If you start strong, the audience will naturally be more willing to listen. And don't be afraid to be bold in your opening. Take a slight risk to stand out. It's a memorable way to showcase your confidence right from the start.
Another point we should address is the importance of practicing your speech multiple times. Rehearsing helps you become familiar with the flow of your words, timing, and any potential pauses. Practicing in front of a mirror or recording yourself allows you to notice things you wouldn't otherwise be aware of. It makes your speech more natural, and that comfort shines through.
That's true, Jennifer. I also recommend rehearsing in different settings. If possible, practice in the place where you'll be presenting, as it helps you become familiar with the environment. If that's not possible, try rehearsing in front of different people or recording yourself in various locations. The more you practice, the more confident you'll become.
Also, let's talk about handling nerves during the presentation. A common tip is to focus on the message rather than on how you're perceived. If you're nervous about how people see you, it can become distracting. But if you focus on delivering your message, those nerves transform into energy, and that energy helps you deliver with conviction.
Great point, Jennifer. Another strategy for calming nerves is to pause and breathe before speaking. Many speakers rush through their words because of anxiety, but taking a few moments to breathe deeply and center yourself not only calms your nerves but also makes you appear more composed to your audience.
Lastly, don't forget to embrace imperfections. Every speaker makes mistakes, and that's perfectly okay. Instead of dwelling on an error, acknowledge it with humor or move on confidently. Your audience respects how you handle challenges more than whether you're perfect. Confidence grows when you embrace mistakes as part of the process.
Jennifer, that's an excellent point to wrap up on. Public speaking is a journey, and each time you speak, you build more confidence. With the right mindset, preparation, and practice, you'll improve every time. Don't forget, confidence comes from experience and learning how to handle the challenges that come your way.
One of the biggest misconceptions about public speaking is that confidence is something you're either born with or not. The truth is, confidence is a skill that can be developed over time. By consistently practicing and stepping outside your comfort zone, you'll gradually become more comfortable with speaking in front of others.
That's absolutely right, Jennifer. Confidence isn't a fixed trait. It's more like a muscle you can train. When you put yourself in challenging situations and practice regularly, you start building that muscle. For instance, start small by speaking up in a group meeting or sharing an idea during a casual conversation. Those small victories add up to greater confidence over time.
Exactly, and when it comes to practice, one method I recommend is video recording your speeches. Watching yourself can be uncomfortable at first, but it's one of the best ways to spot areas for improvement. You'll notice things like your posture, tone, or pace. It's like giving yourself personalized feedback, and you'll see your progress with every recording.
That's a fantastic tip, Jennifer. Another idea is to join a public speaking club like Toastmasters or a local group in your community. These groups provide a supportive environment where you can practice, receive constructive feedback, and learn from others. Being surrounded by people who share your goals can be motivating and inspiring.
Speaking of feedback, let's talk about self-compassion. Many people are their own harshest critics when it comes to public speaking. If you stumble over a word or lose your train of thought, it's easy to spiral into negative thinking. But remember, even experienced speakers make mistakes. What matters is how you recover and move forward with grace and confidence.
That's such an important point. Instead of criticizing yourself, focus on what went well and what you can improve next time. I like to keep a journal of my public speaking experiences, noting what worked and what didn't. Over time, this helps me track my growth and identify patterns. Self-reflection is powerful for building confidence and refining your skills.
And let's not overlook the power of preparation. One of the quickest ways to feel more confident is to know your material inside and out. When you've practiced your speech, anticipated potential questions, and thought through your key points, you feel a sense of readiness. That preparation creates a solid foundation for confidence to grow.
Absolutely. When I prepare for a presentation, I also like to have a backup plan. For instance, if I'm using slides, I make sure I can deliver the key points even if the technology fails. Having a plan B reduces anxiety and helps me feel more in control. Knowing I can handle unexpected challenges makes me feel more confident when I step up to speak.
Another technique I've found helpful is using pauses effectively. Pausing not only gives you time to collect your thoughts but also adds emphasis to your key points. It can feel counterintuitive at first because silence might seem awkward, but it actually commands attention and makes you appear more composed.
That's a great tip, Jennifer. I also think pauses give your audience a moment to process what you've said. Sometimes we underestimate how quickly we speak when we're nervous. Slowing down and using pauses strategically shows that you're in control of the room and allows your message to resonate more deeply with your listeners.
Let's also discuss body language. The way you carry yourself on stage can significantly impact how confident you appear and feel. Standing tall with open gestures, maintaining good eye contact, and avoiding nervous habits like fidgeting can make a world of difference. Confident body language often leads to confident feelings.
Exactly, and body language isn't just about how the audience perceives you. It also affects how you perceive yourself. There's research that suggests adopting a power pose like standing with your hands on your hips can actually increase feelings of confidence. It's a small but effective way to mentally prepare before speaking.
Speaking of mental preparation, I think affirmations can be a great tool. Repeating positive statements like, "I am a capable and engaging speaker," can help reframe your mindset. It might feel a bit awkward at first, but over time, affirmations can build self-belief, which directly impacts your confidence during presentations.
I agree, Jennifer. Alongside affirmations, visualization can be incredibly helpful. Picture yourself delivering your speech with clarity and confidence. Imagine the audience reacting positively and visualize yourself feeling calm and composed. This kind of mental rehearsal can make a real difference in how you perform on the day.
Another thing to keep in mind is the importance of engaging with your audience. When you make your speech interactive, whether by asking questions or inviting feedback, it shifts the focus from yourself to your listeners. That interaction creates a dynamic atmosphere and makes the experience less intimidating.
That's a great point. Engaging with the audience makes public speaking feel more like a conversation and less like a performance. For instance, you can start with an open-ended question or a show of hands to get people involved. It's a simple way to break the ice and create a connection, which naturally boosts your confidence.
That's a great point. Engaging with the audience makes public speaking feel more like a conversation and less like a performance. For instance, you can start with an open-ended question or a show of hands to get people involved. It's a simple way to break the ice and create a connection, which naturally boosts your confidence. Let's not forget about the role of humor. A well-placed joke or light-hearted comment can relax both you and your audience. It shows that you're comfortable and approachable, which goes a long way in building rapport. Humor doesn't have to be complicated sometimes. Just sharing a personal anecdote does the trick.
Humor is such a powerful tool. It lightens the mood and makes your presentation memorable. The key is to keep it appropriate for the audience and context. A little self-deprecating humor, for example, can make you relatable. But as always, moderation is key. You don't want humor to overshadow the main message.
Finally, let's remember that every opportunity to speak in public is a chance to grow. Whether it's a casual chat with colleagues, a formal presentation, or even a podcast like this one, treat each experience as a learning opportunity. The more you step up, the more confident you'll become. Growth happens outside of your comfort zone.
Absolutely, Jennifer. Confidence in public speaking is a journey, not a destination. Celebrate small victories along the way and don't let fear hold you back. Remember, every speaker started somewhere, and each speech brings you closer to becoming the confident, capable speaker you aspire to be.
When it comes to building confidence, one crucial element is understanding your audience. Before speaking, ask yourself, who are they? What do they care about? Tailoring your speech to their needs not only engages them, but also makes you feel more prepared and in control, which boosts confidence. Understanding this dynamic is empowering.
Absolutely, Jennifer. Knowing your audience allows you to create a connection, which is half the battle in public speaking. For example, if you're addressing a group of students, a casual tone and relatable examples work best. If it's professionals, keeping things formal and insightful is key. That understanding reduces anxiety and builds trust in your delivery.
Let's also talk about managing stage fright. It's normal to feel nervous before speaking, but those nerves can be channeled into positive energy. One technique I love is deep breathing. Breathing slowly and deeply calms your nervous system. Even a minute of focused breathing before going on stage can make a noticeable difference in how you feel.
Great point, Jennifer. I'd add that practicing mindfulness can also help with nerves. Being present in the moment and not letting your mind wander to what-if scenarios reduces stress. Mindfulness exercises like focusing on the sensations in your feet or hands ground you. When you're grounded, your confidence naturally starts to rise.
Another helpful strategy is to memorize your opening lines. The first few seconds of your speech set the tone, so knowing exactly how you'll start removes some of the initial anxiety. Whether it's a strong statement, a story, or a question, having that intro locked in your mind gives you a great start and builds momentum.
I agree. A strong opening sets you up for success. But equally important is knowing how you'll close. A memorable conclusion leaves a lasting impact on your audience and gives you a clear endpoint to aim for. It's like setting markers for yourself throughout the speech beginning, middle, and end. This structure makes you feel organized and in control.
Let's touch on visuals, like slides or props. Many people rely heavily on visuals, but it's important to use them as support rather than a crutch. If your slides are too text-heavy, your audience might focus more on reading than listening. Simple, impactful visuals complement your message, and relying less on them forces you to engage directly with your audience.
Exactly, Jennifer, and visuals can also help reduce your stress. If you have clear, easy-to-understand slides, they act as cues for your key points. But you should never read directly from them. Instead, use them to guide your flow and make your speech more dynamic. Confidence comes from knowing your material, not relying on slides to carry the weight.
Speaking of dynamics, voice modulation is another critical aspect. A monotone delivery can make even the most exciting topic sound dull. Varying your tone, pitch, and volume keeps your audience engaged and shows your passion for the subject. Practicing these variations can make you a much more compelling speaker.
That's such a valuable point, Jennifer. I've found that emphasizing certain words or phrases with a change in tone creates impact. For example, slowing down and lowering your voice can make a key point more dramatic. These techniques not only engage your audience but also give you a sense of control over your delivery, boosting your confidence.
Another confidence booster is storytelling. Humans are naturally drawn to stories because they're relatable and memorable. Sharing a personal story or anecdote creates an emotional connection with your audience. When they relate to you, you feel more at ease, and that connection transforms nervous energy into positive engagement.
Storytelling is a powerful tool. I always advise speakers to weave in stories that align with their main message. For instance, if you're talking about overcoming challenges, share a time you faced and conquered a fear. It not only makes your speech authentic, but also gives you a moment to connect emotionally with your audience, which builds confidence.
And let's not underestimate the value of rehearsals. Practicing your speech multiple times helps you internalize it. Try rehearsing in front of a mirror, with a friend, or even in front of a pet. Each practice run reduces uncertainty, making the actual presentation feel like second nature. Confidence grows when you rehearse thoroughly.
I couldn't agree more. Rehearsing also helps you anticipate potential pitfalls. For example, you might realize a certain section of your speech feels awkward or unclear. Fixing those issues during practice saves you from stumbling during the real thing. Plus, each successful rehearsal reinforces the belief that you're ready and capable.
Let's also address how to handle tough questions from the audience. Instead of fearing them, see questions as an opportunity to clarify your points and show your expertise. If you don't know an answer, it's okay to admit it and promise to follow up later. Honesty and openness demonstrate confidence and integrity.
Exactly, Jennifer, and confidence is cumulative. When you look back at all the times you've pushed yourself, it creates a sense of pride and accomplishment. Documenting your progress, like keeping a journal of your public speaking experiences, helps you see how far you've come. That reflection can be incredibly motivating.
Well said, Jennifer. Building confidence in public speaking isn't just about delivering a perfect speech, it's about growing, learning, and connecting with your audience. Embrace the challenges and enjoy the process. With time and effort, you'll find that public speaking in English becomes a skill you can truly be proud of.
Well said, Jennifer. Building confidence in public speaking isn't just about delivering a perfect speech, it's about growing, learning, and connecting with your audience. Embrace the challenges and enjoy the process. With time and effort, you'll find that public speaking in English becomes a skill you can truly be proud of.
One of the most overlooked aspects of public speaking is understanding body language. Did you know that your posture, gestures, and eye contact can convey confidence even if you're feeling nervous? Stand tall, use open gestures, and make eye contact with your audience to appear confident and engaged.
Great point, Jennifer. I've found that even small changes in body language can make a big difference. For example, avoiding fidgeting or crossing your arms can help you look more approachable. Practicing power poses, like standing with your hands on your hips, can actually trick your brain into feeling more confident before you step on stage.
Another way to exude confidence is by using pauses effectively. Many people feel the need to fill every second with words, but well-timed pauses can be powerful. Pausing after an important point gives your audience time to absorb it and shows that you're in control. It also gives you a moment to collect your thoughts.
Absolutely, Jennifer. Pauses are like punctuation in a speech. They add rhythm and clarity. When you pause, it's an opportunity to emphasize key points or let the weight of a story settle in. It's amazing how silence, when used intentionally, can make your words resonate even more with your audience.
Let's not forget about the importance of preparation. Confidence often comes from knowing your material inside and out. The more you practice and rehearse, the more natural your delivery will feel. And when you're well prepared, it's easier to adapt to unexpected situations without losing your composure.
Preparation truly is key. I always recommend recording yourself during practice sessions. Listening back helps you identify areas to improve, whether it's pacing, tone, or clarity. Plus, hearing yourself speak can make you more aware of your strengths, which is a great confidence booster.
Speaking of adapting, let's discuss handling distractions. From a phone ringing to unexpected audience reactions, distractions can throw you off. The key is to stay calm and composed. Acknowledge the distraction briefly if needed, and then smoothly return to your speech. This shows your audience that you're confident and in control.
Distractions are inevitable, but how you handle them says a lot about your confidence. For instance, if someone asks an off-topic question, politely redirect them to the main discussion. Your ability to stay focused and not let minor interruptions derail you can actually strengthen your connection with the audience.
Another aspect of confidence is the ability to simplify complex ideas. A confident speaker knows how to break down complicated concepts into clear, easy-to-understand language. This not only helps your audience follow along, but also shows that you truly understand the topic you're discussing.
Exactly, Jennifer. When you can explain something simply, it shows mastery. Using metaphors or analogies can also help. For example, if you're explaining a difficult process, compare it to something relatable like cooking a recipe. This approach makes your message accessible and keeps your audience engaged.
Let's touch on vocal warm-ups. Just like an athlete warms up before a game, speakers should prepare their voices. Simple exercises like humming, lip trills, or saying tongue twisters can loosen up your vocal cords. A warmed-up voice not only sounds better, but also gives you confidence in your delivery.
That's a great tip, Jennifer. I'd add that hydration is equally important. Drinking water keeps your throat clear and helps your voice sound its best. Avoid dairy or caffeinated drinks right before speaking, as they can affect your vocal quality. Feeling physically prepared can significantly boost your confidence.
And don't forget to smile. A genuine smile can instantly make you appear more confident and approachable. Smiling not only helps you connect with your audience, but also tricks your brain into releasing feel-good chemicals. It's a simple yet powerful tool to put yourself at ease while speaking.
Absolutely, Jennifer, smiling can be contagious too. When your audience sees you smiling, they're more likely to respond positively, which creates a supportive atmosphere. That positive feedback loop can do wonders for your confidence. Plus, a smile signals that you're enjoying the experience.
Let's also discuss the power of feedback. After a presentation, seek constructive feedback from trusted friends or colleagues. Knowing what you did well and what you can improve helps you grow as a speaker. Each piece of feedback is a stepping stone to greater confidence and effectiveness.
Feedback is invaluable, Jennifer. I always encourage speakers to ask specific questions like, did my main points come across clearly or was my pacing effective? Detailed feedback gives you actionable insights, and addressing those areas in future presentations builds confidence over time.
Lastly, remember that confidence is built gradually. Start with small opportunities to speak, like in a group discussion or a casual meeting. As you gain experience and see positive results, your confidence will naturally grow. The key is to keep challenging yourself without overwhelming pressure.
Well said, Jennifer. Confidence in public speaking is a skill that develops with practice, patience, and persistence. Celebrate small victories, learn from setbacks, and remember that every effort you make brings you closer to becoming a confident and effective speaker. The journey is as important as the destination.
Building confidence in public speaking is not an overnight process, but there are several strategies that can help speed up the journey. For example, starting with small groups can help ease the nerves. Gradually increasing the size of your audience gives you the opportunity to practice and improve your skills.
Exactly, Jennifer. Starting with smaller groups builds familiarity and allows you to get comfortable with the act of speaking. I've personally found that even practicing in front of a mirror or recording yourself can serve as a great way to build that initial comfort before facing a larger crowd.
Another tip is to focus on the message rather than yourself. Many speakers get overwhelmed by the idea of being judged, but when you focus on delivering valuable information, your audience is more likely to appreciate what you're saying than how you're saying it. It's about the value you provide.
Absolutely. Shifting your focus from how do I look to how can I help my audience not only eases anxiety but also helps you connect better with them. After all, most people come to listen to your ideas, not to scrutinize your performance. So, make sure you keep your attention on sharing knowledge.
Let's not forget the importance of preparation in boosting confidence. A well-prepared speaker feels more in control. This includes practicing your speech multiple times, ensuring that you know the material well, and even rehearsing your body language to ensure it aligns with the message you're delivering.
Indeed, Jennifer, preparation is often the key to success. When you rehearse, you get rid of the nervous energy because you know exactly what's coming next. For me, preparing involves not just reading through the material, but rehearsing aloud, adjusting pacing, and working on transitions between ideas.
A powerful technique to use when preparing is visualizing success. Before stepping on stage, take a moment to picture yourself giving a successful presentation. Imagine the audience reacting positively to your speech. Visualization is a great tool for boosting confidence and creating a positive mental state.
Visualization is a powerful tool that helps you mentally rehearse and reduce anxiety. It's the same principle used by athletes before a big game. If you can mentally rehearse success, you're more likely to achieve it. I often do this before presentations, imagining the positive outcome and the confident delivery of my message.
Let's talk about the importance of breathing. A deep breath before speaking can do wonders for calming your nerves. It slows your heart rate and centers your mind, helping you feel more grounded and focused. When you're nervous, your breath becomes shallow, but controlled breathing can help you regain your calm.
Jennifer, that's a great point. Breathing exercises are essential for managing nerves. I use deep, slow breaths before any speaking engagement, which not only calms my nerves but also supports my vocal quality. Deep breathing enhances your ability to speak clearly, and it helps you stay relaxed.
Something else that can help is recording your practice sessions and reviewing them. This allows you to identify areas of improvement that you might not notice in the moment, such as filler words, pacing, or tone. The more you listen and critique your own speeches, the more confidence you will gain.
Handling mistakes gracefully is a crucial skill in public speaking. Instead of letting a mistake throw you off, simply pause and carry on as if nothing happened. Often, the audience won't even notice if you remain calm and confident. In fact, being able to recover from a mistake can increase your credibility.
Confidence also grows from positive reinforcement. After every speech, whether it's big or small, reflect on what went well. Acknowledge your strengths and celebrate your improvements. The more you affirm your progress, the more motivated you'll be to continue growing as a speaker.
Celebrating small victories is vital to building confidence. I recommend journaling after each presentation, noting what worked and what didn't. This reflective practice helps you recognize patterns in your delivery and allows you to build on your successes while learning from your mistakes.
It's also helpful to observe other public speakers and learn from them. Whether it's a TED Talk, a motivational speaker, or even a colleague, pay attention to how they handle their nerves, their posture, and how they engage the audience. The more you observe, the more techniques you can adopt into your own speaking style.
I completely agree. By observing other speakers, you can pick up valuable techniques, whether it's their vocal variety, humor, or storytelling ability. You can learn so much by seeing how others manage their confidence on stage and then incorporate some of those techniques into your own approach.
Let's not overlook the importance of self-care before speaking. It's not just about what you do during the speech, but also how you prepare physically and mentally beforehand. Rest, hydration, and eating well all contribute to how you feel on the day of your presentation. Confidence comes from taking care of yourself.
Self-care is often overlooked, but it's incredibly important. I always try to get a good night's sleep before a big presentation. Not only does it help with clarity of thought, but being well rested ensures I have the energy to stay focused throughout the speech. Confidence starts with feeling good physically.
Let's talk about audience engagement. A confident speaker knows how to involve their audience. This could be through asking questions, inviting participation, or using interactive tools like polls or visuals. Engaging the audience makes the experience more dynamic and boosts your confidence because you're connecting with them.
Engaging the audience is a great way to reduce anxiety and boost confidence. When your audience participates, it feels more like a conversation than a lecture, and that makes the experience less intimidating. I always encourage questions or feedback during my presentations, as it makes the environment feel more collaborative.
Confidence also comes from knowing your audience and tailoring your message to them. Whether you're speaking to a group of professionals or a classroom full of students, understanding their interests and needs allows you to adjust your speech for maximum impact. This connection with your audience makes you feel more confident.
That's a great point. Jennifer, the more you know about your audience, the easier it is to speak to their level of understanding. When you tailor your message to their needs, they'll respond more positively, which in turn boosts your own confidence. Understanding your audience allows you to speak with purpose and impact.
When it comes to building confidence, another important aspect is practicing regularly. Whether it's speaking to a friend or recording yourself giving a mock presentation, consistency is key. The more you practice, the more comfortable you'll feel with your voice, body language, and overall presence.
I completely agree. Jennifer, the key to confidence is consistency. If you practice often, it becomes second nature. I often find myself practicing in front of the mirror, even if it's just for 5 minutes. It's not about perfection, but more about developing the comfort to speak naturally.
Another great tip is to embrace the idea of making mistakes. Public speaking, like any other skill, involves trial and error. No one is perfect, and the fear of making mistakes can actually prevent you from progressing. So accept mistakes as part of the learning process and an opportunity to improve.
That's such an important point. Everyone makes mistakes, even the most experienced speakers. It's how you recover and move forward that matters. Audiences tend to be understanding as long as you maintain your composure and continue with your message confidently, even if things don't go perfectly.
Additionally, managing your breath plays a huge role in maintaining composure while speaking. When we get nervous, our breathing becomes shallow, which can make us feel more anxious. Learning to take slow, deep breaths can calm your nerves and help you project your voice clearly, adding to your confidence.
Breathing is incredibly important. If you watch expert speakers, you'll often see them pause and take a breath before continuing their thoughts. It's not just a way to calm the nerves, but also an effective strategy for maintaining control over your voice and ensuring clarity in your speech.
It's also crucial to remember that everyone feels nervous at some point, no matter how experienced they are. Recognizing that even experienced speakers were once beginners can help ease your nerves. Everyone starts somewhere, and it's okay to feel nervous. It's a sign that you care about doing a good job.
That's right, Jennifer. Feeling nervous is completely normal, and as you said, everyone experiences it, no matter how seasoned they are. In fact, the best speakers have learned to embrace their nervousness as energy they can channel into their performance. It's all about mindset.
Another technique that can help improve your confidence is to focus on your posture. When you stand tall with your shoulders back, not only do you physically feel more confident, but your audience will perceive you as a more confident speaker. Good posture can impact how you feel and how others perceive you.
Posture can make a huge difference. I remember being told that when you stand up straight, you give yourself the best chance to project your voice and express yourself clearly. Plus, standing confidently affects how you're received by the audience. It gives them a sense of authority and trustworthiness.
We can't forget the importance of body language in public speaking. Nonverbal communication accounts for a huge portion of how your message is received. Gestures, eye contact, and even facial expressions can enhance your words, making your message clearer and more engaging for your audience.
Absolutely. Jennifer, body language is like the silent language that communicates how we feel. If we speak with our hands, use appropriate facial expressions, and make eye contact, it makes our presentation more engaging. Nonverbal cues help create a connection with the audience, reinforcing your message.
For those who struggle with nerves, incorporating relaxation exercises into your routine can make a big difference. Whether it's mindfulness, meditation, or even light stretching before a presentation, these activities can lower anxiety and help you enter a speaking situation with a calm and focused mindset.
Relaxation techniques like mindfulness are crucial for reducing pre-speech jitters. I've personally found that a few minutes of deep breathing or a short meditation session can ground me before stepping in front of an audience. It's all about clearing your mind so you can speak freely without anxiety holding you back.
Visual aids are another powerful tool in public speaking. If you can, use slides, images, or videos to support your message. Visual aids not only capture the audience's attention, but also reinforce the key points you're making. This can help take some of the pressure off you, as the visuals do part of the work.
I love using visual aids in my presentations. They help guide the audience through my points while providing a visual representation of what I'm saying. It's a great way to keep people engaged and focused on the topic. Plus, if you feel nervous, having those visuals to rely on can be a lifesaver.
Another tip is to engage with your audience. When you make eye contact, ask questions, or even invite participation, you're creating a dialogue instead of just a monologue. This engagement not only makes your speech feel more interactive, but also gives you the confidence that your audience is with you.
Engagement is key. I find that when I make eye contact and involve the audience, it helps reduce the feeling of speaking to a large, intimidating group. It also builds rapport, making your audience feel like they are part of the conversation. That connection boosts your confidence even more.
Sometimes it's helpful to have a go-to phrase or to fall back on during a presentation. If you ever lose your train of thought or get nervous, having a set of reassuring words or phrases can help you regain your composure and get back on track. It's a simple trick to stay calm.
That's a fantastic tip, Jennifer. Having a backup phrase or line that you can always rely on can make a huge difference in maintaining your confidence during a presentation. I always remind myself to pause, breathe, and then continue. This helps reset my thoughts if I ever feel overwhelmed.
Lastly, practice speaking in English as much as possible, even if it's just in casual conversations. The more you speak, the easier it will be to express your ideas confidently in front of an audience. This habit helps reinforce your fluency, which ultimately improves your ability to speak confidently in any situation.
Exactly. The more you practice speaking in everyday situations, the more confident you'll become when it's time to speak publicly. It's like building a muscle. The more you work on it, the stronger it becomes. So take every opportunity to speak and don't be afraid to practice in different settings.
Well, we've covered so much today about building confidence in public speaking. From practicing regularly to embracing mistakes and managing your breath, we hope you feel more prepared and confident to take on your next public speaking challenge. Remember, it's all about consistent practice and positive thinking.
Absolutely, Jennifer, public speaking can feel daunting at first, but with the right mindset and tools, you can definitely overcome any nerves. Keep practicing, stay calm, and embrace every opportunity to speak. Your confidence will grow the more you practice. You've got this.
Thank you so much for joining us today. We hope you found these tips helpful and that you'll apply them to your own speaking experiences. Remember, every great speaker started just where you are. Don't let fear stop you from reaching your full potential.
We'd love to hear about your public speaking experiences and any challenges you might face. So, if you enjoyed this episode, don't forget to leave us a comment and share your thoughts. We'll be back with more tips and advice in our next episode. Until then, keep practicing and take care.
Goodbye, everyone, and remember, confidence comes from practice, so keep speaking up and sharing your voice with the world. See you next time.
Goodbye and happy speaking.